The Smelly Stallion. King Solomon, the world's richest and wisest ruler, owned 12,000 horses. Each one cost at 150 pieces of silver. They were splendid-looking horses, all except one. This one horse was a gray stallion with fine muscles and legs, but he didn't look like or smell fine, for he wouldn't let the stable boys wash him. He was dirty, dirty, dirty. So he never got to be in a parade or pull a chariot or carry a prince. Nobody liked to be around him except the horseflies. Everyone called him the Smelly Stallion. I don't care what they call me, he said. I don't want to be clean. But really, he did want to be clean. He just wasn't ready yet. One morning, everyone in Jerusalem was talking about exciting news. The Queen of Sheba, the world's richest queen, was coming to Jerusalem to see for herself how rich and wise King Solomon was. She was to arrive that very afternoon, and she was bringing gifts from Solomon, more jewels and pieces of gold that most people could count, and more spices and sweet perfumes than most people in Jerusalem had ever seen. That morning, everyone in Jerusalem took a bath. They wanted to look and smell their best for the queen. The stable boys cleaned up all the horses except the Smelly Stallion. I don't care to see the queen, he said. I'd rather stay dirty and smelly. And he just wasn't ready to be clean. In the afternoon, King Solomon came out to meet the queen. He had carts loaded with good food for the queen and her servants to eat, and he brought his finest horses to show her. He also brought the Smelly Stallion, though no one knew why the horseflies came too. The Queen of Sheba saw the carts of food and the fine horses. Behind King Solomon, she saw his splendid royal city. I see you are very rich, the queen remarked. I've also been told you are very wise, and I have a few questions for you. What does a wise ruler do, she said, if she catches a servant stealing gold from the treasury? Solomon said, a wise ruler ties a heavy bag of gold to the man's hands and make him carry it everywhere until he's so tired he promises never to steal again. Then the wise ruler tells him one of my proverbs. How much better to get wisdom than gold? The queen smiled. And what does a wise ruler do, she said, if her son is very sick and sad? Solomon answered, a wise ruler brings in clowns who can dance and prance and frolic and rollick, and who can tell that ailing boy every joke in the kingdom. For I have written another proverb that says, a cheerful heart is good medicine. The queen smiled once more. Just then, she caught sight of the Smelly Stallion with his halo of horseflies, and she began to smell him. She wrinkled her nose and crinkled her mouth, and she twinkled her eye, and she said to Solomon, and what, may I ask, does a wise ruler do with a horse that smells rotten and rancid and reeky and rank? Oh. And Solomon answered, when a visitor comes bringing gifts and spices and sweet perfumes, the wise ruler makes that animal carry all the fragrant gifts to the palace storehouse, one load after another, until the horse smells spicy and sweet. And that's just what Solomon did. It took the stallion half a day to carry it all, and with each load he smelled spicier and sweeter. But when he finished, he smelled so spicy and so sweet that it made his eyes water and his nose itch and his ears drooped. Now he was really ready to be washed. So he let the stable boys clean him, and he liked it so much, he decided from now on to let them wash him whenever they wanted. Later, when King Solomon said goodbye to the Queen of Sheba, he quoted one more proverb. Perfume and spices bring joy to the heart, like the pleasure of a good friend's advice. And that's the end of the story. Did you like it?